Welcome back to another Nerdy Couch comic review.
Today, we're talking about Slumber.
Slumber the comic book?
Slumber, no, sleeping. I need a nap.
Oh, yeah. You just brought the mood down a little, yeah, I think. So, Slumber, so far there's 5 issues out.
Yes.
All right.
I read them today.
You read them today, fresh in your mind.
Fresh.
I read them last night.
So fresh.
Well, partially last night, a little bit today. What's the basic premise of this series?
Basic premise is...
Spoilers, by the way.
Oh, of course. Stetson, who has lost somebody, is looking to get revenge in the dream world against this slumber demon.
Yeah.
And joins up with...
Good way of saying it.
And joins up with a guy who has tech to get people inside the dream.
Yeah, and then she meets Jang?
Jang? Yeah.
Which is he a zombie? Is he a goblin?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Is he from the dream world? I think so.
I think he quite possibly is. They haven't really opened that door up and talked about it as much.
I like the character.
I love his character.
He's a good little comic relief.
Yeah. Loves to eat human flesh.
So, in this series, there is a monster who, I think we get the name... Valkyra?
Yeah.
Is the main baddie in this so far. Okay.
What did the one demon called her? A night hag, I believe?
Yeah. Well, she can possess people in their dreams and essentially walk around in their skin, and they call the daywalker or the sleepwalker killer. Yeah. In the real world.
Yeah.
You find out later in the book that she has lost her daughter to this night creature, this shadow creature.
I almost got the feeling, like when I was reading that piece where they were really talking about her daughter more, that I felt like this Valkyra was almost born
or originated in her.
Yeah.
Which I feel like I agree in the manner by the end of the 5th issue that that's where they might go.
Yeah.
But as of now, we won't really confirm that, right?
Just theories.
No confirmation
it's
there.
Just a theory.
Just a crackpot theory. All right. Anyway, that leads Stetson to seek out somebody who can help, right? And that leads them to do this kind of dream walk.
So you go in with your nightmares, and they kill them. They walk into your dreams.
She walks into your dreams, and she blows the head off of your nightmare monster.
And that's not figuratively. That's she
walks in with a shotgun,
shooting stuff,
and she shoots the stuff. All right.
And she's pretty indiscriminate. And when they brought up the fact that anything that she shoots in there
disappears,
is gone from your memory.
Yeah. Whether it be a family member.
Yeah, a family, like you were out for a picnic. And
if she shoots your grandma, you forget who your grandma was.
I think in that instance, like in that memory, I think that memory in particular.
No, I got the impression that
gone,
you don't know who grandma is anymore.
And that makes it worse. Yeah. That she is very...
Well, because at the end, he says, I don't want to forget about my brother.
I thought he said that was kind of the only memory that he had left.
Yeah, you may be right. So we could be on... that's the good thing about comics, is that you can interpret things differently. And that's a cool conversation. Right? The method that they use to get into people's dreams is very Monsters, Inc.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, you just they hook you up to the machine and you walk through a door and in you go. Into
the dreams you go. So like I said, the dream world is fantastically colored.
Oh, and it's just a... I think they captured dreams in a really great way because it is so much... It's very chaotic and colorful, and there's lots of fantastical creatures and things just going on in there.
And like some of them on the more creepy scale.
Yeah.
Others kind of just goofy and like and stuff, and it's just a fantastic little world they've created.
Yeah.
And the artwork goes really well with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like sometimes a little scratchy.
Yeah, but I think that's fair.
But it works really well with this story. I like little details, and they do have a couple panels where they kind of use an ambient background,
mm-hmm.
but then other panels are chocked full of stuff.
Yeah, where you could just sit and look at a single panel.
Like for instance, there's a part where she rips what looks like the heart out of like one of these little janitor creatures.
Oh, the little frog guy?
And from then on, I would notice these little frog guys doing maintenance in the background of the panels.
Yeah, and different ones all over the place in that guy, in that one person's, I guess one of the big supporting characters. Finch.
Detective Finch.
Detective Finch.
Whom becomes a supporting character because he gets possessed.
And then his fiance gets possessed.
Yeah,
but he does some killing.
People, yeah.
And he was doing some of the work on the
case.
Sleepwalker killer.
Yeah. But the whole premise of this is that, yes, she's become a dream hunter, which they call, certain people call her the Dream Eater.
That's the
Valkyria.
Valkyria
calls her that. And Valkyria's motive, it turns out so far, is that she wants to become human and be able to walk in the world of the living. Right?
And I think she mentioned too that like if she comes through, she comes with all her powers too.
Yeah.
So that's
and so it would be terrifying to have a being like that in the real world. But then at the same time, she says, "You're just like me. You go to kill. You think you're helping people in there, but you're just fulfilling a need." That she can blow off the heads of just about anything in there without consequence.
Yeah,
really. Love the dynamic of her walking in there and just going cowboy.
Yeah,
you know, and she says that quite often, a couple times. You get a cowboy up and stuff.
It's the Wild West in here.
Yeah,
she just randomly shooting people.
Yeah, I just
and we found out that if they die in their dream, they just come back in through another door because she shoots.
Yeah. If the
dreamer,
the dreamer, the host of the dream, can't die in a dream.
No. Right?
So she actually ends up putting a hole in him and wearing his skin
as a disguise.
The
disguises in this comic too are amazing.
Yeah.
And for some reason they're ridiculous and look terrible. like you should be able to pick these people out, but they work great in the dream world apparently.
Like just a mask.
Yeah, they just stick
one of those plastic masks by the looks of it, right? Yeah. One character design that I just love is actually Valkyria's. Being like a shadow monster. A lot of times she's depicted as just like a scribbly shadow.
Yeah.
Right? And when she's in...
It almost reminded me of like when you're watching horror movies and there's like the kid doing the scribble drawing things.
Oh yeah, when they're like, hey, this is the child depiction of a character. That is like a perfect description, right? Yeah. And in one panel, when Finch is being walked around, you see a full page panel of her as that scribbly shadow puppeteering him in the shadow. And stuff like that, and it's just fantastically done. I don't think I could say enough good stuff about this book. I just turned out liking it a lot.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic
series, and it's definitely a book that I think I'm going to keep on. Right, so you're going to hear us talk about this book again because I think we've both just enjoyed it that much.
I would agree. I think it's a beautifully written, beautiful artwork, and the juxtaposition of those two different worlds is amazing. Like
just the contrast between them and stuff like that.
It's just fun to read.
And the character development so far has been great.
Yeah, everybody has their own personality, and I like the personalities. Except for Eddie. I mean, you didn't really get too much.
Eddie just seems to be a comical relief a little bit, right? But
well, he's the tech guy.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Yeah.
You're talking about Jang.
No, Jang is about the comical relief. Eddie, I think we're going to learn a little bit more about because it ends off with Eddie being possessed,
Yeah, so they're inside his dream.
They're inside of his dream. And then it turns out on a pretty big kind of whoa moment.
Yeah.
Right? Where she, it gets kind of emotional. And she's confronted with what she believes to be her daughter, saying it's so real it can't be a dream. Keeping in mind that in the real world, she's going a little psycho too.
Yeah, because she's seeing the nightmares outside.
Yeah, she spends so much time in people's nightmares that she doesn't know what's real outside in real life sometimes. Yeah. Right? So for her to see her daughter and gets emotional and she says, like...
She's also... I found it interesting that she's going into these dreams and she's, having relations.
Oh, yeah.
The Goblin King, if you've ever watched The Labyrinth.
Yep.
The evil Goblin King was one of the nightmares, but she ends up having relations with him.
And then there's this demon lord thing that she gets advice from.
Yeah.
And sleeps with.
Yeah, but she's supposed to be killing it and getting it out.
Oh, yeah, like the one lady, she legitimately keeps her dream alive so she can go back in and have relations with.
Yeah.
The lady's like, oh, you said that you said you killed my nightmare.
Yeah.
I didn't. All right.
Oh, I did. I totally did.
But it ends with her not being able to kill the dream version of her daughter, which, I mean, come on. And then you find out, and it gives you that panel, a fantastic panel with them hugging or something along that line, or them face to face, but the shadow reveals that the shadow monster, I can't ever say her name, Valkyria, is possessing the little girl, which gives me the impression that we might see her go through that door and into the... She may have tricked her into getting her through that door and into the real world.
But also, one of my big thoughts was, why is that little girl there? Oh, well, in Eddie's dream.
It's almost like maybe she has control. The villain has a little bit of control on what happens in the dream world.
Could be.
Other than that, this is something that, again, doesn't get talked about enough. Is the bubble work, the illustration of the words themselves. Fantastically done in this, in the matter of, generally speaking, kind of normal wording and stuff like that, but then when there is talking from, like, bad people, or the demons and stuff, really scratchy and stuff like that, and it comes off really well for these panels to portray the mood that they're trying to make, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that just about everything in this series so far has been fantastic for me.
Mm-hmm. So,
are we doing this?
We're gonna. How many bananas out of 10?
How many bananas out of 10? I'm gonna have to rate this one fairly high because I think I really enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. It's been described as a mix between Monsters Inc. and Something Is Killing the Children. That's a high pedestal to put something on when you mention Something Is Killing the Children.
Inc. Oh.
All right.
Sorry.
Monsters Inc. too. I love those movies, right? But Monsters Inc. I think it's just the whole walking into the dream world.
Called for.
Yeah. Walking through a door into the thing, into the dream world.
Yeah.
Definitely a Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
All right. I think I completely missed your joke because I talked over it. I apologize. I'm gonna have to give this one. I think I'm gonna have to give it an 8. I gotta give it an 8. 8 bananas. Because I think 10 is a 10 is a groundbreaking book for me.
What would you give it 10?
Well, what would I give it 10?
Yeah, what's that?
So far for me, it would be the closest to it would be probably Something Is Killing the Children.
Okay.
I really enjoyed as much as it took forever to bring out. I really enjoyed The Last Ronin from TMNT. I don't know if I would give that a 10. I'd probably give that, like, the storytelling in that is great. So yeah, it's very hard. It's very hard.
What would you give a 1?
Anything Suicide Squad.
I'm gonna give Slumber 8.5 bananas.
8.5 bananas.
Yeah.
I thought about 8.5, honestly, but I wanted to give some room.
I can only see it going to a 9, really.
So
like if the story continues,
and is as good as it has been, I will go up to at least that. But we will wait and see. Join us on the next one, and let us know what you felt about Slumber. I thought it was great. Wake up!
Oh, sorry.
Thanks a lot, guys. Bye now.